So the other day I went to this quick service restaurant, or I guess you could call it a fast food restaurant, but it's a pretty healthy spot. It's a Mediterranean spot, and it's one of those where you go through the line and you get your food, and that's exactly what I did. Got my food and went and sat down in a booth, and shortly after I sat down, there was a couple that sat down almost directly behind me. And directly after they sat down, I heard the guy say this. He said, I'm not going to say it exactly, and you'll see why. He said, I'd rather pay 40% more and get this than go to Taco Bell and eat that bullshit. And I just chuckled a little bit to myself, but then I also thought about that because that's a pretty big statement, right? Anytime a consumer is willing to pay 40% more for something that is theoretically in the same category, that should make us as business leaders and business owners say, what's going on there? And anytime there's a pattern, there's a principle, so we need to extract, okay, what's the principle of what's actually going on there? And I think what's going on there is this. Value properly priced is appreciated by the right customer. Now, there's a couple things associated with this that are really important to understand. That restaurant is in the same category as Taco Bell. It's quick service, it's fast food, and therefore you would say, okay, well, why on earth are they able to charge 40% more and not just have people pay it, but have people delighted to pay it? Well, it was clear to me as I sat back and looked around, they had done a handful of things that amplified the way that they created and delivered value as a business. The lighting was really good. The restaurant was incredibly clean whenever I walked in. The team members had smiles on their faces. It was incredibly efficient. They had clearly invested in the operations of the business and how it ran. There were just a bunch of things that really amplified the value, amplified the experience. All the ingredients were fresh. You could see all of the ingredients as you went through the line. And what's crazy is those things, although small, were value amplifiers. One of the takeaways from that is that small improvements can carry with them massive impact. And so certainly this restaurant wasn't spending 40% more than a Taco Bell would spend, but it created 40% more value because they attended to the things that customers cared about. And that was clearly something that they were paying attention to. But think about the principle again. Value properly priced is appreciated by the right customer. You could actually be offering a really good deal. But if you're offering a really good deal to people that don't need or want what you're providing, do you think they'll appreciate it? Absolutely not. And so you got to make sure you've identified who the right customer is and what is the value that they resonate with, right? If someone's going out for cheap Mexican food and they find themselves in this restaurant, do you think they're going to be thrilled spending 40% more? Absolutely not, because they're not even asking for Mediterranean food, much less all of those value amplifiers. But then there were other people, clearly the guy sitting behind me was one of them, that said, man, I value cleanliness. I value freshness of ingredients. I value portion size being really big. I value the interactions that I have. And these are all value amplifiers that this restaurant made a calculated bet on investing in. And therefore he said, I will gladly pay 40% more to get this versus a Taco Bell. What do we call it when you pay more for something that you didn't want and don't need? Well, we call that getting screwed, right? What do we call it whenever you pay more but believe that the value of what you got is more than even what you paid? We call that getting a good deal. And so what do we need to take from this? We need to take from this that it's so crucial that you know who your customer is and what your customer values, and that we attend to ourselves as leaders, but then also teach our team to attend to. Man, if we can amplify the way that we create and deliver value, that will exponentially increase the price that we're able to charge and therefore the revenue that we're able to generate, and that will actually be celebrated by the consumer. Value properly priced is appreciated by the right customer. Let's go.